Hello and welcome to this demo video. Before we get started, I'd just like to explain to you a few things which will relate to all of the basic range spreadsheets. Number one, there is a key on the intro and setup tab of all of the spreadsheets showing what the different color headers mean. The blue headers mean that the cell's formulated, so it's locked and you can't change it. The yellow headers are where you can input data, and occasionally there might be some gray headers, which is just a different kind of data input, but we'll include instructions as and when that happens. The other thing that you can be aware of is there are ways in which you can damage the spreadsheet. So please do take a look at the link where you see this image, which will take you to a web page to show you how to better preserve your spreadsheet. Please feel free to keep a blank version of the spreadsheet somewhere, so that if you do mess up a spreadsheet that you're using, you can in fact just open a new one, a blank one. And some of the spreadsheets only last for a year, and then you've got a blank one to start the following year. So do keep a blank copy as a backup somewhere. And lastly, wherever you see this image, you can click on it. It'll take you back to the store where you purchased this product to see if you've got anything, any more products. One last thing, to see a demo video, you can click on this on a link that looks like this in order to go to the demo video, but that'll take you to the most recent demo. If in fact we've done upgrades and you're using an older version and you'd like to see the demo relating to your version, then do click on the watch on YouTube link, which will take you to that specific video on YouTube. So I think that's all you need to know. So without further ado, let's move on to this demo video. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the demo video for the LinkedIn post report. Now this is a spreadsheet for serious LinkedIn users, and the reason why it's for serious LinkedIn users is because it gives some very, very valuable advice, but it's not automated. And at the moment, when I've made the spreadsheet, you cannot export this data from LinkedIn, which means you're going to have to go through your posts and you're going to have to go and find this data and input into the spreadsheet. Now, if you're prepared to do that and you're disciplined enough to do that and you've got the time to do that, then this will really, really give you some valuable insight into your LinkedIn activity. And because of that, it'll then help to show you which posts you should be using, possibly which posts you should be using when, which ones produce the best return as far as comments and reactions and those kind of things are concerned. Now, obviously, this all boils down to jobs coming in and sales and what have you. So obviously you need to link this to your sales, but at least the spreadsheet shows you about what kind of post to use when, that type of thing. So let me show you how it works, and then at least if you know how it works, you can decide if it's worth obviously not only purchasing but the time to fill it in. Yeah, let me show you. The first page is the date period. Now the spreadsheet lasts for a year. That doesn't mean that you have to buy a new one after a year. It just means that this particular one will last a year, and after a year you'll need to use a new template. So keep a blank version of this, put in the starting month and then the starting year, so 2020 for example. Then the next time use one January 2021. So you can start in January, or you do it as a calendar year or a financial year. It'll show you the start date there if everything's correct. If you don't see anything there, you filled this in incorrectly, and just make sure it's right. Once you've done that, to put in up to 10 different post types. Now, post types can be whatever categories you would like to categorize your posts. I personally think that you need a balance on LinkedIn. So sometimes you need to maybe do a straightforward marketing post. Sometimes you may need to do a brand awareness post. Sometimes you might need to do a post about a blog post. Other times you might just put something about yourself. Other times you may put something funny. You can categorize your post and select up to 10 different categories essentially for these post types. Put in whatever you want, and you'll be able to categorize your post by those categories, and you'll be on the report. You'll see a breakdown based on those categories. The last thing to do, you probably won't have to do it most of the time. If any bank holidays change, if the bank holidays don't change, it doesn't matter. These are UK bank holidays. The reason for the bank holidays is because the report shows you how your posts do on each day of the week, and it includes bank holidays in that. So if the bank holiday changes, for example, in 2020, the bank holiday changed from the 4th of May to the 8th of May, then simply put the old bank holiday date in there with the year and the new bank holiday date, and it will switch it around. So then come 2021, it'll ignore that because that's only for 2020. So make sure the dates in these ones marry up with your date range. But yeah, if you put it's the start date, you put it in, it'll tick to go yes, you found that bank holiday. Then put the actual date that it's changed to, and it'll change that bank holiday. Otherwise, if there's no bank holiday changes throughout the year, just leave that. Once you set up, you can go to the post date. And now I've already pre-populated this. And for those of you who are looking at this to see, I wonder which posts do better, this is completely random, so I wouldn't bother wasting your time doing that. The date, now this is, if you have a look at the top here, you see there's a red section, a yellow section, and a green section. Now the red section, you need to do as you post. You need to come and capture this as you post. The reason for that is when you look back at a post on LinkedIn, it doesn't say this post was posted on 1st of January at 5:44 in the morning. What it says is it was posted 8 hours ago or 3 days ago or 4 weeks ago. So you can't see the exact date when it was posted. So my advice to you is to put the date in and the time when you post. The rest of this stuff, the yellow one here, you can go back and have a look because you can go back and see what the post is about, and you can then categorize it and see whether there's an image attached and post and linked and all the rest of it. So this yellow section is not imperative to put in the beginning, but obviously you want to be able to put at least the post, the start of the post in here, so you can at least identify the post. Then, so when you post 1st of Jan, the date and the time, enter the date as 1 Jan. If you put in 1 space Jan and click enter, it'll then go to the date. And the time, enter as hours, minutes. So if it happens at 5:44 in the morning, you put 05 with 2 dots there, and then 44 in the morning. If it happened at, there's one, 24 minutes past 11 at night, 23.24. So put them in as times. That will then know when you posted, and then just put in the first line of the post. Now, if you post a whole lot of posts and you use the first line of everyone, this doesn't necessarily have to be the first line. All you need to do here is put something in so that you can, in fact, identify that post. That's really all it's there for. So anything that you need to identify the post, I'd suggest the first line, but whatever you need to do to identify that post, put it in there, that's fine. Then you've got the type where you select the type. So the drop down list, those types are the ones that you put on your intro and setup. And then image or video. Select if it's got any media attached to it. If it's an image that you're posting, select image. If it's a video, select video. This just means that you can do further, there's further reporting based on whether there was an image or a video or whatever attached. And then if there's a link, one of the things that people are saying about LinkedIn is if you put a link in the post, it goes to fewer people. So you can select your link in post, or if you put the link in the comments, that's supposed to not make a difference to your post. But I put it in just so that you can put yes, there was a link in the comments, or yes, there was a link in the post, or no links, just so that it breaks down further for your reporting. That's what you need to put in when you capture the post. So that's the data entry bit, but that's just one per post. This is where the data gets, where you've got to come back and look at the data. So what you do is at the beginning, obviously, you're not going to have any views or reactions or comments, so you'll probably leave this blank. When you go back in again the next day or whenever it is that you do, go periodically. How often you do this is completely up to you. Just the more often you do it, the more accurate it makes your report. But go back through the posts and update these values. Now, this is where it gets time consuming because now you've got to go back through your post to update these values. If LinkedIn were to export this, that would be great. It would be much more helpful, but at the moment they don't. Not for your personal accounts, only for business pages. So from this point of view, you want to go and see how many views. So how do you do that? Well, if you go to your LinkedIn and you go to your profile, and you scroll down to where it says just underneath your dashboard, activity, if you click on see all for activity and then you click on posts, it brings up all of your posts. And here, if you scroll down, you can actually see how many views, how many reactions, there we go, and how many comments. How many views, how many reactions, how many comments. How many views, reactions, comments, views, reactions, comments, and so forth. You can see it on all your posts. You scroll down, views, reactions, comments. So you can scroll back however often you do this, and that's why you put in an identifier for your post, so you can scroll back, update the figures, and as you update these figures, the whole report updates accordingly. In fact, these colors here will change. If this one said 447 and I came back today and it said 10,000, you can see the color slightly changes. So the colors will change accordingly, based on the figures that you enter, and they'll change as you enter those figures. So these ones you'll need to you'll keep up to date. This you'll be able to put in once at the beginning and leave it. These you'll have to go back. Now, how far back you go is up to you. You may eventually go, well, you know what, I'm just at the end of February, I'm just changing February, I'm not changing January's posts anymore. That's fine, just leave them. All it means is it's just going to use these figures and not use the updated figures. And we all know that after a while, those posts kind of have the shelf life and then it's over. So if you see they're not changing much and you don't want to go back and change old posts, just leave them. At least you've got figures in here that are relatively accurate. So that's your part. That's your part to do, to fill in, and by doing that, you then create this report. And this entire report is all automated based on these figures and will update as you update the figures. So let me go through the report and show you what it's showing you. All right. These ones are a little bit confusing because you've got two axes on the same graph here. So here we've got views, basically. It will adjust according to your views, but because of the values I put in, these are going up in like 10,000s. But then on this one, you've got your reactions and comments. Now, your reactions and comments are usually a lot lower than your views. So if I put them on the same axis, you'd have views on here, and you'd have these tiny little bars going along here at the bottom for reactions. So I put them on two different axes. Here are the views, there are the reactions. The light blue see-through one at the back here that you can see are the views, and the yellow ones are reactions, and the blue ones are the comments. Now, I've put in figures to show random figures and just guessed, so that's why they're all showing like this, but yours might be very different. So this is your average post, per post per month. So in January, all the posts that were posted in January, or the posts were posted in February, March, so you can see per month if there are any months where you've had a much better average. Now, the reason I put average in is because if you post one post in February and you post 10 posts in March, March would have been a massive graph compared to February. So it takes the average, so you can see on average how have you done each month. So that's the average post per month, and here is your average post, full stop, overall. That's what you've done in views, comments, and reactions. It's the same way this graph's laid out, it's just laid on its side. They're the views at the bottom, and they're the reactions and comments at the top. So that's an overall month by month on average. But if you scroll down, we'll carry on with that theme down here. But before we do, I've put in 4 graphs at the top here, which are quite useful. Those are the engagement percentage per post. So what does that mean? What that means is an engagement percentage. What we mean here is your reactions and comments as a percentage of your views. So if you've got 10 comments and 100 views, that would be a 10% engagement. The 10% engagement. Reactions plus comments, and then take that value divided by the number of views as a percentage. So here we've got advertising, blog posts, all those different categories that we put. We can see which ones have got the better engagement percentage. Here you've got your engagement percentage, but broken down by the days, so you can see which days you get better engagement on. That might be quite useful if you want to see when you should be posting. Here you can see better engagement from the ones with the media types, so image, videos, and no media, and also with the links in the post and the comment and no link. You can see if there's any massive difference there as well. So those are just 4 graphs, or 5 graphs, I suppose. You've got 2 and 2, which, yeah, 1, 2, yeah. So those graphs there showing the engagement, which is obviously quite useful, the 4 of them. Then you go back to the original layout of the graphs with the number of posts and average reaction. And what this is broken down per post type. So the first one was per month. This is per post type. So you can see which post has got the reactions. Now what I've done here is I've actually, instead of like all the other graphs, I put the reactions next to the comments. Here I've put them on one on top of the other. So you can see here we said you had engagement per post, your engagement percentage, sorry, so that is your total engagement. compared to the number of posts that you've put. So these are the number of posts. So this graph, all the other graphs will say views, reactions, and comments. This is actually the number of posts and your average comment and average reaction. So you can see what this one shows you is, for example, here, you've posted fewer posts, but you seem to have more engagement. Whereas, for example, here, you've posted more posts, but you've got less engagement than there. So the question is, the business info seems to be doing well from a point of view of comments and reactions, but what's not, but you seem to be posting more funny content, whereas you're not getting as much of a reaction to it. That's what that's saying. So this is basically a comparison between what kind of reaction you're getting on your posts and how many posts you're posting. This here, if you have a look here, views and reactions and comments is back to the old one that we had at the beginning again, your average per post per day. So this is the same graph as we started off with, but instead of showing monthly, what we're showing here is daily, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, and then bank holidays. So which of those particular days get you the best reactions, comments, and views? Same graph again, but this time per hour of the day, so from midnight all the way up through to 11 o'clock. Now, when I say midnight, what I mean here is from midnight to 1 minute before 1. This one goes from 1 to 1 minute before 2. That one goes from 2 to 1 minute before 3, so on and so forth. So it's the same graph, but it's showing from a point of view of when the posts were posted. Again, the same graph again, but this time it's showing the per post. So where here you got the number of posts and the reactions and comments. Here you've got the views and the reactions and comments. So it's like this post again, but this one is breakdown per post type. They're the same two graphs again, but this time by the image and what have you. And here you've got the same graph, but this time it's by the. This is one about the link and the links, and this is the one about the media. Now those are the graphs finished. Now what we do is there's a whole whack of text, but what this text is showing, the tables are showing you, is a comparison between the hour posted and the type of post. So if you scroll down here and you have a look, you can see immediately where the green ones are and the red ones are. So this doesn't really mean anything because they're all random. But here, for example, is a nice strong green one. So if you look at, you can say 12 p.m. posting new product posts seems to be quite good. That means from a views point of view, you mean you're getting a lot of views. If you have a look at, for example, there, you can see posting 12 about personal things isn't necessarily bringing you the views compared to that. So that should give you a nice breakdown of the time and the type of post, when to post, what time. Here you can see the same thing, but what this shows you now is the reactions. So this one shows you that it's the exact same thing, but it's the reactions. And then if you scroll down, you can see the exact same thing between the types of posts and the time, but this one shows the comments. So there are three tables, one after the other: views, reactions, and comments, and they're all kind of laid out, change color based on the time and the type of post. If you scroll down, it's the exact same three tables again, but this time it's a type of post. Oh, sorry, that one was the. Oh no, there's one more table. I forgot about this one. One more table, the number of posts. So here you can see the number of posts that have actually been posted. So for argument's sake, if you're looking at any particular time frame, so if you're looking at, well, let's go back to the first one, 12 o'clock, new product, 12 o'clock new product, you can then come down and see, I've got loads of views at 12 o'clock new product, 59, you're not too bad from a point of view of reactions, and then you can come and have a look at 12 new product and go, actually, I'm not getting a lot of comments on those ones per se, and then you can come and see 12 here and you go, but you've only posted 4. So if it's views you're after and you're getting a whack of views, why then have you only posted 4? That would be the way to look at this. So you need to be comparing all of those different tables. After that, there are 4 more tables. 1, 2, 3, 4, and these 4 are the same 4 that you got above, but this time it's by day. So you got your post types and by day, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. These ones are slightly easier to see because they're not so many days as there are hours, so you can see them all together, or most of them, and you can see the views, reactions, and then the comments, and then the number of posts. And because the bank holiday is, there aren't as many bank holidays as there are other days, I've just drawn a line there. So this color scheme is on its own colors. It's not linked to these numbers here. So that is the overall report. These tables at the bottom, they might be a little bit overwhelming for you, but if you really want to look in detail and see where the numbers are and see what's happening at what time, those are quite useful. You will really pinpoint down the numbers. But these graphs at the top here, all of these are the same. That one, this one, that one, not that one, not these ones, but then that one again. They're all showing the same thing, views and reactions and comments. This is per month, and they're all showing averages as well. This is per product, not product, but per category. That's per day, that's per hour, and that is the, no, sorry, that one's per category. This one was a slightly different one. This one wasn't this is per category, but this one was showing the number of posts and the comments per post and the reactions per post as an overall kind of engagement level. And then these ones here showing your engagement percentage. So that would be your reactions and comments combined divided by your page views, which is essentially taking the same data here, just showing it differently. So that's the report. That is quite a comprehensive report. It's taken me a while to explain it to you, and hopefully you've understood all of that.
Just before we move on with this video, I just want to show you one thing. This part of the video is edited later on. What I've actually done is I've gone and changed the engagement percentage graphs to green, and I've changed the one with the number of posts showing to purple. I think the fact that they were all light blue was a little bit misleading. So now all the light blue ones are actually views, and these ones I've changed to green, and the number of posts I've changed to purple, so that they're not all light blue, so it's a little bit less misleading as to what you're looking at.
It all comes from this data. So as I said, this data here you can put in as you make the post. This stuff here you can update as regularly as you want to. And that's it. Yeah, that's why I'm sure now you see when you have the data that you have to collect and put in, you can see why I say it's only for serious LinkedIn users. If that's you, and it's really affordable, it's really affordable product, really good product to use, do purchase it, use it. I wish you all the best. If that's not for you, well then I still wish you all the best with your LinkedIn marketing, and hopefully I'll bump into you there. So thank you very much for your time, and goodbye.